everybody, welcome back to another episode here on 539. Today we are visiting a place that we have been to before, but it's been probably about 4 years. Found some really interesting historical graves here, as well as some really interesting artwork, and so I wanted to come back and take a look at it again, see if maybe there were some things we missed. It's a pretty big place, so I'm almost positive that there has to be a few things here that we missed. And just a really amazing area. This is the Cedar Creek area of Indiana, northeast Indiana anyway, and yeah, there's like lots of little abandoned railroad bridges around here, and some really interesting stuff that we'll see. There's a cool little private lake behind here, and it looks like they've been doing a lot of work. So I'm anxious to see what they've been doing, if there's been anything that's been uncovered, and yeah, see what's changed since we've been here last time. But I'm guessing that a lot of you probably don't remember this. A lot of you are new to this channel, maybe, and a lot of you that have only been here for a few years. So make sure to check it out, and maybe go back and look at the older episode as well. Alright, so starting here in the final row here, you can see park just over here, and then got a few semi-historical graves over here, and some interesting stuff that I found. You can see some of the stuff that they've been finding covered up here in the brush. Kind of an interesting find there. I think it's like a little plastic angel of some sort. Yeah, it has rocks in it to make it stand up. We'll stand it back up. So I always like checking back along the edges just for that reason, because you find so many interesting things that are either blown back here and covered up for years. It's usually the first place to kind of start to get neglected and forgotten. You can see here that they have part of the equipment that they've been using to fix the place up, and over here is the property line, and an amazing lakefront here. I believe a semi-private lake, and goes all the way around. Pretty cool. But yeah, I don't see anything else at the property line here, so that's kind of good news. You can see there used to be, well, I guess you can't really tell from here. There's a little piece of fence post there and some barbed wire attached. So we can see some of the remnants of probably one of the original fences, sort of. It might have also been an original farming fence. And then there are some pieces here and there of, looks like some cement, and I can't see any stones or anything, but this is one of the areas that I was not able to get to the last few times. Well, I shouldn't say not able to get to it, but I wasn't over in this direction because I was assuming that most of this was either new or had been previously cleaned up. I was thinking this was the property line. It looks like the property line's actually several feet that way. This looks like something fairly natural, although it does have some fake flowers that have blown over here, as well as some real ones. You can see that springtime is in full swing, and everything is starting to get green again here, and the flowers are coming out and blooming. Also might be going to tour some damage that has been done recently due to the windstorms. So hopefully that's partially cleaned up, or at least something has begun by that time. But yeah, I don't think we're going to find much. This is pretty much the last little wooded section. So let's cut over, and we're going to look at some of the artwork that I previously found, since most of the graves that I'm passing now are fairly new. A lot of them have not even been used yet. They are so new. They literally were just purchased recently and had names, last names inscribed on them. So, and this, although it is called a cemetery, like I've been saying so many times, it is technically a graveyard. Although I know there are very specific terms you will find when you're out in the field that they're rarely actually used that way. So this is right next to a church. It is associated with the church. It is of the same name, and it is called a cemetery, even though it is technically a graveyard. So, yeah. That's my little explanation, once again, of why I don't really bother being accurate with that type of thing anymore anyway. But I will mention it from time to time. And so we are approaching here another area that they've kind of dug out and been working on. I don't know if they've really found anything per se. It doesn't look that way. It looks like they're just kind of clearing the brush out. But a pretty sheer drop, probably about 30-40 feet down there. You could make it down safely if you really tried, but definitely flooded pretty bad right now. This part here I don't think is normally lake. So, kind of interesting. But so far, looks like just basic maintenance and cleanup work. I guess, since we always end up doing this, I'm gonna check these bushes, because like this is always where the geocaches are hidden. And it's like I almost always find them in especially the ones where it's two of these evergreen bushes right next to each other. Usually you find like the caches hidden. And then we will take a look here. We got Edith and Glenn Roberts. It's like born relatively around the same, within a couple of years of each other, and then also passed away within a few years of each other. So, not that that's highly unusual, but interesting to note. Well, I kind of thought that I would for sure find a geocache there. It just kind of screams as the right place. Maybe there is not one in this particular cemetery, but tiny little secluded area here. It looks like there's a few things hidden too. So, some fairly historic dates here. 1885, 1900. God, what is that name? Orpha. That's an interesting name. Let me know if you heard that one. Orpha Barber and W. Sherman Barber. And then, whatever this is here. Whoa, we're going to have to get in there pretty far on this one. Wow. See, Vern Dick from 1901 to 1966. And still has the D.O. McComan Sons free marker. And what's weird is that company still exists. Or maybe they just recently updated it. I don't know. And you can see that this one actually has a solar light here. A little cross. And yeah. Alright. Let's maybe see if we can find some other historic stuff. And again, I want to kind of head towards... Well, this thing has really seen better days. I have cut out a lot of it, but I kind of understand it. You can see kind of what happens. How it, just starts shooting off more and more and more, and then it starts edging its way towards these things. So, obviously at some point they have to do something or it's going to cause a massive amount of damage to these graves. And another interesting bit of older artwork. Looks probably like it was original in the 1960s. Probably, again, another bit of Catholic artwork where you buy it white and then you paint it yourself. I've seen that a few different times, where it seems like the people are actually taking their time to actually paint it themselves. And then right beside it here, another pretty historic grave here. Oscar Tracy from 1882 to 1964, and then Cora Alma Tracy, or Alma, I'm not sure the pronunciation of that, but 1888 to 1966. Again, not seeing any geocaches. What is that? No, that's some trash. Okay, probably not the proper place for that. We'll take that with us and throw it away. Actually, you know what? There's a trash can. Perfect. Not sure why. Especially at a place like this, it's so easy just to throw it in the trash. Maybe it blew. It might have blown over there. That's very possible. It just blew over there and came from somewhere, anywhere, far away. So, all right, let's just, our artwork should be right up around here. So let's do a loop around the back here. Because again, this is all recently uncovered. And so, I'm not sure if we will, but it is very possible that we may end up finding something that hasn't been seen in a long time. But, there's something right up here. Ooh, didn't I say I always find? Okay, it's not underwear this time. It's a shirt that has been torn to shreds and just looked like underwear. But I always find abandoned underwear. It's gonna be my next YouTube channel. Underwear urbex. I gotta say, at this point, it's a little surprising that we aren't finding anything. I'm somewhat surprised. I don't think this was like a recently, not recently, but within, the last 50 years, a purchased section or donated area. But it's definitely surprising that there's nothing along the edges, so maybe that really is the case. But it does look like we're coming up on something. And I don't know what this is. Oh, these were like old section markers, it looks like. Look at that. Yeah, it looks like you can see the section names there, or the numbers, I mean. And then a piece of an old vase there. And some of it is falling. There's actually, this is crazy. Well, it would have been a nice one. That's funny. But this is incredible too. That this is definitely not anything, it's not headstones or anything like that, but it's kind of interesting to find this right here, that they've either been removed or they're putting them here temporarily until they can put them back. I'm not sure though. All right, we're gonna continue because it does seem like now we're getting somewhere. You can see that at this point the private property begins right here at that tree line. Which again, I find a little odd. I'm not sure how much I like the thought of purple paint meaning private property. I feel like it should be a little bit more clear like this. And this looks maybe like a groundhog hole. Okay, well, our little artwork, it's kind of like a little hidden area over here. It's not really hidden, but I wanted to check again in these historic areas, not only to see whose headstones are here, which are most likely probably buried in between these trees. Oh, there's something in there for sure. You can see here we have a veteran of the Civil War. Oh, this could be hard, we'll see. I'm gonna try and get it no matter what. Okay, it looks like it's easier from this side. Maybe this is the front. I don't know. Oh. Wow. It's definitely a Pence. Looks like Carey from 1866 to 1937. And another Orpha from 1872, looks like, to 1957. Wow. So thank you all for joining me on this part of our adventure here at the Cedar Creek Cemetery. Make sure to join along on the next part. Once again, I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you all so much. We will be doing these adventures twice a week, so make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Most of the time they will be coming out on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Things have been a little bit sketchy here as we get back in the swing of things, but that will slowly get better here in the next couple weeks as I'm able to film more and more now that the weather's a lot nicer. So appreciate you all. See you in the next adventure.